Q Radio Pets Corner.
With Brandy Dog Food. Because they're 100% family, you know they're giving them the best.
Welcome with me, Sharon Jennings. Coming up, we find out how to provide safe feeding environments for your cats, but firstly, we've all heard the horror stories of dogs attacking children. But how can we prevent this? Well, joining me now is Kathy Clyde, Education Officer with the Dogs Trust. You're very welcome, Kathy.
Oh, thank you. It's lovely to be with you all at Pets Corner this afternoon.
So, Kathy, you at the Dogs Trust are doing a lot of work to help educate both parents and children how to behave around dogs.
Absolutely right. We have noticed in recent times we have had an increase in demand from schools for staying safe around dog workshops. So the Education Department have got together and we have come up with some very sound and simple messages that children can easily remember. So we take a look at safe and unsafe situations, how to meet and greet a dog that you've never met before, also what to do if a dog approaches you. But as well as working in schools, we also took a good hard look at the evidence, and the evidence is that most children are bitten by dogs in their own homes or in the homes of a close relative. Really, the whole family needs to be educated about how to be dog smart, and that's what we've called the campaign, the Dog Smart campaign. There are some very simple, sensible things that we can do to make sure that our children stay safe when in the company of the family dog.
Kathy, a lot of experts say now that the major reason dogs will attack children, especially within the home, is that we as humans don't know how to read a dog's body language.
Absolutely right. People don't take a look at how dogs are feeling, and dogs very rarely attack children. Mostly what happens is that the dog snaps or bites at the child simply to say, "I've had enough, would you please go away and leave me alone?" So there are some things that we can look for. We can look for perhaps the dog licking its lips, like the dog turning away or trying to get away from the situation or the child. The dog maybe will have his mouth firmly closed and his ears drawn back, his tail tucked beneath his body and his back arched. Any one of these signs is a sign that the dog is maybe anxious or stressed in the situation that it's in.
And I suppose, Kathy, one of your main roles would be to educate parents, because obviously it's the parents' responsibility to make sure a child is safe around their family pet.
It's absolutely their responsibility, and no matter how well they think they know the dog, that they never leave a child and a dog alone together, and that's the biggest mistake that most people make.
Well, Kathy, I think the work that you're doing with young people, parents and schools is absolutely fantastic. And also, if you want to find out more information, you can go on to the Dogs Trust website and their Facebook page.
The Q Radio Pets Corner
With Brandy Dog Food.
Look out for new Cat Club cat food in store now. Using only the finest locally sourced ingredients, Cat Club's appetising jelly and new gravy smothered meaty chunks have all the nourishment and essential vitamins to ensure cats stay happy and healthy. Visit Cat Club Cat Food on Facebook for more information on our range. Also, don't miss out on your chance to claim your very own super cute Brandy Cuddly toy with promotional Brandy 6-packs. Visit brandydogfood.com/offers for full details.
Q Radio Pets Corner.
This week we're continuing with our spotlight on how to look after your cats, and this week we're looking at how to feed cats in a safe environment, and I'm joined again by Dr. Sarah Millsop. So Sarah, this week we're going to be looking at the best way to feed our cats.
Yes, well, I wanted to talk about feeding stations for cats in the home. There are lots of things that we need to consider when we are placing feeding stations for cats. Our cats need to feel safe in order to be able to eat. Cats can starve themselves from days on end if they don't feel safe in an environment. So it's important to provide a number of feeding stations in a cat's home. We want to make sure that if our cat doesn't feel safe to eat in one particular place, that they know there's somewhere else in the house that they can go and eat and be undisturbed. There are lots of people who keep 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cats in one environment, and they need to make sure that those cats are not going to be battling for access to resources. It's important to think about location, and again, we tend to shove all of the cat stuff into the same place, and it's not always ideal. Nobody wants to eat right beside the toilet, and cats don't want to do that either. So make sure you place your feeding stations as far away from litter trays as possible. And it's also a good idea to place them as far away from the cat's water bowl as possible. In a natural situation, cats will not drink water located close to where they find and eat food, because that water source is potentially contaminated with animal waste products. Cats always feel safer whenever they're up at a height, so it can be a good idea to place feeding stations at a height. So the key thing is privacy, somewhere where they're not going to be disturbed, somewhere that they are going to feel safe in order to be able to eat. Just to reiterate that last point, please keep feeding stations away from litter trays.
And next time we'll be looking at how to make your cats feel safe in the places they sleep.
Q Radio Pets Corner.
With Brandy Dog Food. Because they're 100% family, you know they're giving them the best.